Here's my vlogging login for January 15, 2024. Today's Martin Luther King Day, and that's a holiday in the United States. Celebrates the birthday of Martin Luther King, who made a huge impact on our society, our culture, and how he helped to kind of make things more fair for everybody. That people will be judged on the content of their character instead of the color of their skin. Which, right there, that's pretty loaded. That's a very loaded kind of subject too, because apparently there's people that get judged on the color of their skin more than the content of their character, which is kind of not very fair, but it's just the way things are. And I'm not an expert on that subject. I've had my backstory that was involved in certain kind of let me see, how do I say it? I probably can't even say it, because the one thing, like, when people are vlogging and doing all that stuff, they need to talk about subjects that they know about. I've been in the past talking about my divorce situation, and I hope that maybe someone somewhere might benefit from that that experience, that history, that very kind of tragic and a bummer kind of a situation that you have to be smart. You know what? I'm gonna pick up this tennis ball. I think I've passed it before. No one's picked it up before. So this tennis ball, it's kind of a metaphor of life. Life is like a tennis ball. Just kidding. Supposedly there's an exercise you do to kind of straighten out your posture, and then you're supposed to put your tennis ball right here when you're doing sit-ups and other exercises. So that may hey, I found it, so I'll use it, because I think I've passed that tennis ball a couple times walking on my little route, my little vlogging route. So it's not that I'm kind of blank. Maybe I'm blank. That's kind of crazy, though. I mean, right now I'm in a time of my life that I can't think of content. And it's like, oh, what if I just talked until something came to my mind, or talked until maybe something, a good idea. Like, I was doing my rehearsals in my other videos, that I would just rehearse my ideas for my main channel, my Timothy Damas channel. That's my main channel. My nephew told me, you gotta stick with the Lego. But man, my mind doesn't work like that. It's like I say that I'm a below average guy, but I'm maybe above average guy, and depends on what circle I am in. You know, I might be above average when I'm that's funny when I think about, like, what are my talents? What am I good at? Who am I? Where am I? Stuff like that. It's kind of a, maybe what they call this kind of vlogging, kind of a stream of consciousness. Yeah, I guess it's my stream of consciousness kind of vlogging today. You know, I can't talk about Martin Luther King because I can't really relate to some of those situations that other people could relate to. So like I've said before, when you're in a relationship, it's really important for men to listen. That's kind of just the way the trend is. Actually, anyways, men don't really share their feelings. They're not supposed to. And the fact of the matter is that when I share my feelings and when I have certain ideas that come to my mind, it's not necessary to share it, but it could very well be that when you are sharing your feelings, make sure they're precise and accurate and intentional with whatever that you're doing with yourself, because I know that it's very much a bummer. It could be very much a bummer when you're not processing your feelings in your head, because I know that I was doing a live stream last night. You could check it out if you're remotely interested. But the idea is that when you go out to do something, it's really a good idea to be able to know what you're doing and why you're doing certain things. Because you'll get a reputation of just having garbage content. And if that's what you want, that's what happens. Because I know with a lot of my content that I do, I guess it could be borderline insulting the fans, insulting the people. I mean borderline insulting because there's this thing that I learned too recently, that you could put out the content that is not again, this is more of a stream of consciousness kind of vlogging today, because this is kind of a way for me to keep track of my walk, because I'm trying to be a little bit more physically fit, a little bit more intentional about my fitness, because I neglected my fitness probably the last 5 or 6 years because of my relationship. You got to be in a relationship that you got to be with somebody that cares about their physical fitness if you're going to care about your physical fitness. And you can't consume a lot of calories if you don't burn the calories that you consumed. It's like you got to eat to live. You don't live to eat. And that's the one thing that what comes to mind right now is the whole idea of what happened to Generation X. I'm Generation X. They have all these generations and all this different titles for certain things because of just nature of just living in a capitalistic society where you got to have a way to market to certain people, and the marketing to Generation X is going to be different than marketing to the millennials and marketing to whatever generation is out now. Because Generation X, we were first kind of exposed to the internet when we were already kind of old, so we do not use the internet as much as maybe someone that's been born in the last 10 years. They're going to be using the internet, and especially during that situation in 2020, there was a lot more internet use right there, and that's when certain generations will utilize the tools differently. I like to work on cars. I've posted videos about working on cars. I've posted videos about how to use tools, and that might be a little bit of a different culture than the way I grew up. Like, I grew up, my dad did most of his work on his cars himself because he was able to do it. But then later on, when he got, more wiser, I guess he would let other people work on his cars, because it would be I remember being outside for hours working on cars with my dad. But all that to say that, what are the tools that you're using these days? And there's going to be more to come. I'm going to get my thoughts straight. So be sure to watch my other videos, because there's certain subjects that get crushed in the internet thing. I don't know what title I'm going to name this video, but I'm sure it's going to be pretty much, this is creating content to create content, and so I hope that it helps.